So today we'll be talking about a man a lot of people probably would have heard of, Mansa Musa. And when you hear about Mansa Musa, it's usually followed by fun fact. They'll say the richest man who ever lived. But you see, Mansa Musa was not just a rich man, he also had influence. This isn't just a story about a rich king, it's a story about how powerful Africa once was. The Mali Empire wasn't just a village, right? It was one of the largest, most sophisticated states that ever existed. Controlled gold mines, and their gold supplied the whole world. Like they supplied the whole world with gold. That was how much gold they had. And cities like Niani and Timbuktu, they were centers of knowledge, astronomy, sciences, poetry. I mean, this empire was so huge, and the one man who led it all was Mansa Musa. He wasn't a warlord, he wasn't a conqueror, he was just a man who wanted to lead his people. He was just a man who wanted the development of his people. And I mean, what else do you want? But then in 1324, Mansa Musa decided to make the Hajj. That's a pilgrimage to Mecca. And you see, this pilgrimage was so huge that the observers back then, according to history, said it was as if the desert was moving. So he had about 60,000 people. He had 12,000 royal servants. He had about a dozen camels, all filled with gold. The camels were carrying gold, just gold. And on his way, he was giving out gold to people. He was doling out gold to people. What does that remind you of? Blings. What does that remind you of? Your chain and your wristwatches, your chains, your grills. He was giving out gold to people. When he got to Egypt, he gave out so much gold in Egypt that the economy of Egypt crashed. Egypt's economy crashed so much that they did not recover for 12 years. I'm helping you to understand how Africans used to roll back then. They didn't need people to come and save them because they had everything they needed. This is where everything changed because of what he did in Egypt, right? I mean, you would say it was helping people, but at the same time, it's probably show off. The story of that got to Europe, and the Europeans heard about this and they were like, what? Are you kidding me? Someone so rich, he crashed an economy? We have to see who that is. We have to go to that place and see what's going on. And Europeans, they're all about conquest and just sucking you dry. And that was how the story of Mansa Musa got to Europe. Africa was never poor. Africa was once powerful. The libraries, the scholarships, the poetry, the culture, the development, the architecture, the wealth. The Europeans had to come and see what was going on. When they realized, oh, this is a lot of power for these people, they just buried all this. I mean, everybody knows Mansa Musa, richest man who ever lived. You hardly hear about his exploits. So they just buried all these things. Because, I mean, that's a dangerous thing for the Europeans. Because what do you mean these guys they were balling like this? No. Nobody has to know about this. It was buried. But the whole point is, Africa's wealth was never the problem. It was the world's reaction to it. And then if you ask me, I mean, that level of showing off that drew attention was probably not necessary. You could have continued developing your places, continue developing your cities, your towns, the places around you with so much wealth. Maybe Africa would have grown from there. Africa was not developing, Africa was leading. If we weren't leading, they wouldn't come. We'll meet you again tomorrow.